Trauma doesn't just leave scars you can't see. It rebuilds you piece by piece, often without your permission. The person who emerges on the other side can feel like a stranger in their own skin. Today, we're not talking about just flashbacks or nightmares. We're talking about the quiet, fundamental shifts in your very personality, the person you become when your mind is trying to protect you from a past that feels like it's still happening. Let's explore the 6 ways PTSD can fundamentally shape who you are. Number 1, the constant sentry. Before the trauma, you might have been spontaneous, a yes person, someone who could jump in the car for a road trip without a plan, or walk into a crowded party and feel at ease. After, that part of you might feel like a distant memory. It's been replaced by a new resident in your mind, a constant, vigilant sentry. This isn't just being anxious. This is a deep, personality-level shift towards hypervigilance. Your mind is a soldier that never got the memo the war is over. Every loud noise, every sudden movement, every person standing a little too close is a potential threat that needs to be assessed. That's exhausting. It means you can't just relax. Relaxation is a luxury your nervous system no longer feels it can afford. Outwardly, this can look like a personality that is controlling, anxious, or overly meticulous. You might be the one who always needs to know the plan, who needs to scope out every exit in a room, who sits with your back to the wall in a restaurant. Your friends might see it as you being rigid or a party pooper, but inside it's a full-time job. You are the CEO of your own security, and you can never, ever clock out. Spontaneity requires a belief that the world is generally safe. PTSD robs you of that belief, and in its place, it builds a personality that is a master of risk assessment, a quiet protector born from pain. Number 2, the architect of a smaller world. Do you remember a time when your world felt big and full of possibilities? Now, it might feel like it has shrunk, and you are the one who built the walls. This is the personality shaped by avoidance. Avoidance in PTSD is not just about avoiding the specific place or person related to the trauma. It's a creeping thing. It starts to generalize. Soon, you're not just avoiding the street where it happened. You're avoiding all unfamiliar streets. Then you're avoiding going out at night. Then you're avoiding crowds. Then social gatherings. Then phone calls from anyone you don't know. Each act of avoidance provides a small, temporary hit of relief, and your brain, desperate for relief, learns this pattern. Stay home, stay safe. This creates a personality that can appear introverted, reclusive, or even antisocial. People might think you're flaky because you cancel plans so often. They might think you're boring because you always say no to new experiences. What they don't see is the invisible cage you live in, a cage built with the loving intention of keeping you safe, but a cage nonetheless. Your personality becomes that of a curator of a very small, very predictable, and very safe museum of your own life. The tragedy is that you are both the curator and the only exhibit, and you can't remember where the exit is. Number 3, the stranger in the mirror. One of the most profound ways PTSD shapes you is by shattering your sense of self. We all have a story we tell ourselves about who we are. I am a kind person. I am a strong person. I am resilient. But trauma can take that story, tear it into pieces, and leave you with nothing to hold on to. This leads to a fractured identity. There is the you from before the trauma and the you from after. And often these two people feel like they have never met. The before you might feel naive, a ghost of someone carefree that you can barely recognize. The after you can feel broken, tainted, or defined solely by the worst thing that ever happened. This internal split manifests as a change in personality. You might lose interest in hobbies and passions that once defined you. Your core values might shift. You might feel a deep sense of shame or guilt, not for what you did, but for what was done to you, and that shame becomes a part of your identity. You look in the mirror, and you don't recognize the person staring back. The light in their eyes is different. This creates a person who is constantly searching, trying to figure out who they are now. They might try on different personas, or withdraw completely, because they no longer have a stable sense of self to present to the world. They are living in the prologue of a new story, but they don't know how to write the first chapter. Number 4, a changed relationship with trust. Trust is the invisible thread that holds our social world together. We trust that the driver in the other lane will stay there. We trust that the chair we sit on will hold us. We trust that the people who say they care about us do. PTSD takes a pair of scissors to that thread. After a profound betrayal of safety, The world no longer feels trustworthy. And it's not just about trusting other people. It's about trusting reality itself. If that could happen, anything can happen. This creates a personality that is inherently suspicious and guarded. You might become someone who is intensely private, who doesn't let people get close. You might test the people in your life, constantly looking for proof that they will inevitably let you down. You might be cynical, assuming the worst in others because your experience has shown you the worst is possible. This isn't because you're a negative person. It's a survival mechanism. Trusting the world requires a leap of faith, but your safety net has been torn to shreds. So you become your own safety net. Your personality becomes that of a detective, always looking for clues, always questioning motives, always protecting a fragile core that has been hurt too badly to be left exposed again. It can be a lonely way to live, being the sole guardian of your own heart. Number 5, the emotional pendulum. Imagine living on an emotional pendulum. On one side, there's an overwhelming flood of feeling, rage, terror, grief, so intense it feels like it could physically destroy you. On the other side, there is nothing. A deep, hollow numbness where feelings are supposed to be. A personality shaped by PTSD often lives in these two extremes. This is more than just being moody. It's a condition known as emotional dysregulation. Your brain's emotional thermostat is broken. Minor stresses that other people can brush off can send you into a spiral of panic or anger. You might have outbursts that seem to come from nowhere, that feel disproportionate to the situation. This can shape you into a person who seems volatile, unpredictable, and intense. Then the pendulum swings. To protect you from that overwhelming flood, your mind simply shuts down the entire system. This is the numbness, the dissociation. It's the state where you feel disconnected from your body, your emotions, and the world around you. To others, this can look like you're cold, aloof, or uncaring. They don't understand that this emptiness is a shield. A personality develops that oscillates between these two poles, feeling everything and feeling nothing. It's a confusing, alienating experience, and it can make stable relationships incredibly difficult to maintain. Number 6, the reluctant philosopher. Not every change is one of destruction. Sometimes, in the rubble of a shattered life, something new and profound begins to grow. Many people who go through the crucible of trauma emerge on the other side as reluctant philosophers. When you have walked through the darkest parts of the human experience and survived, the trivialities of everyday life can lose their power over you. The things that used to cause you stress, office politics, social drama, consumer desires, can seem meaningless. Your perspective on life is forcibly changed. You understand mortality, you understand fragility, you understand what truly matters. This can shape you into a person of incredible depth and empathy. You might find you have a capacity for compassion you never knew you had, especially for others who are suffering. You might feel a renewed appreciation for the simple moments of beauty, a sunset, a quiet morning, a genuine smile. This is often called post-traumatic growth. It doesn't negate the pain. The scar is still there, and it always will be, but you learn to live around it. And sometimes, because of it, you become a person with a deeper understanding of the human condition. You didn't ask for this wisdom. It was paid for at a price no one should ever have to pay. But it is a part of who you are now, a person who knows the darkness, and because of that, chooses to seek the light with a quiet, fierce determination. You are not broken. You are a masterpiece, rearranged by a storm. The journey of living with PTSD is not about getting over it. It's about learning to live with the person it has shaped you to become. It's about understanding that these changes in your personality are not weaknesses. They are the battle scars of a survivor. If this video resonated with you, if you saw a piece of your own story in these words, please consider liking it and subscribing to our channel. It helps us reach more people who might be feeling alone in their experience. And now, I want to ask something of you. For those of you who feel comfortable sharing, what is one way your experience has shaped you that others might not understand? Your story could be the one that makes someone else in the comments feel seen, feel validated, and feel a little less alone. Let's create a space of real understanding together. Thank you for watching.